Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to make this simple stylish dress. It has a band in front and it has pockets by the sides. Please keep on watching and let's get started. If you are yet to subscribe to my channel, please subscribe now and turn on your notification bell so that you can get notified whenever I upload a new video. Now this is the fabric I'll be working with, and I have 3 yards of fabric here, and I'll also be using an elastic for the back. This is my basic bodice pattern, and this is what I'll be using to illustrate for both the front and the back. You need to determine where you want your back to start from. So for mine, for my shoulder to chest line there is 9 inches. So I want the back of this dress to start from that 9 inches point. The full length for this dress is 40 inches. This is for the back now. I want to illustrate for the back first. The full length of my dress is 40 inches. So because I want the back to start from that 9 inches point, from the chest line, I want my back to start from the chest line. So I'll deduct that 9 inches from the 40 inches. So I'll deduct the 9 inches from the full length of the dress, and I have 31. There is going to be an elastic at the back of this dress. So at the top part where the elastic will be, I'll add 1 inch allowance for the elastic casing. And also at the bottom part, to hem at the bottom, I'll also be adding another 1 inch. That means I'll be adding 2 inches allowance plus that 31 inches I already have. That means I'll be cutting out 33 inches length for the back of the dress. The front of the dress is an off shoulder with a strap sleeve, so you need to determine where you want your off shoulder to start from. For me, I'll just come down by 6 inches. From the shoulder point, I'll come down by 6 inches. That is where I want the off shoulder to start from. I'm marking 6 inches now from the shoulder line, and I'll connect it with a ruler. The next thing you need to determine is the length of the band you want for the front. For me, I want the length of my band to be 3 inches, and that 3 inches will stop at the chest line. To calculate the length of the front of the dress now, remember that the full length of the dress is 40 inches. And now I came down from the shoulder by 6 inches for the off shoulder, and I have 3 inches band. I'll deduct that 9 inches from the 40 inches. That means I'm having 31. I'll add ½ inch joining allowance to the top, and at the bottom part, I'll add 1 inch allowance for hemming. So that is 1.5. 31 plus 1.5, I'm having 32.5. I'll be cutting out 32.5 inches for the front of the dress. All together now, for the front of the dress, I'll be cutting out 32.5 inches length, and for the back of the dress, I'll be cutting out 33 inches length. For the width, you'll be cutting out for both the front and the back. For me, I'm using 3 yards for this dress, so I'll use 1.5 yards for the front and 1.5 yards for the back. That is the width I'll be cutting out. Before I go ahead and shape the neckline of the band now, remember that we came down by 6 inches for the front, for the off shoulder line. That means the length of the strap you'll be cutting out for the front is 6 inches, and the back, the length of the strap you'll be cutting out for the back is 9 inches. That means altogether that is 15 inches. I'll add 1 inch allowance to join at the front and at the back. So altogether, I'll be cutting out 16 inches for the strap. To shape the front neckline, from the center front, I'll come out by 4.5 inches. To get these measurements, you can measure it on your body. Measure from one bra strap to the other bra strap. For mine, when I measured it, it is 9 inches. 9 divided by 2, that is where I got the 4.5 inches from. So from that 4.5 inches point, I'll come in with the armhole curve and connect it back into the armhole. I'll cut out my band now. I am cutting out the band on fabric now, and my fabric is on fold. I'm adding ½ inch allowance round the band to the top, bottom and the sides of the band. So I'm adding ½ inch allowance, and when I'm done adding my allowance, I'll cut it out. I'll be cutting out 2 of this pattern. This is the front part of the dress, and I've gone ahead to cut out the down part of the dress, the part that will be attached to the band, just like I explained to you earlier. So now I went ahead to make gathers that will fit into the band. I went ahead to make gathers, and I also have my strap here. I explained to you earlier how to calculate the length of the strap. I'll go ahead and fix the strap to the front part first. Just fix it the way I'm fixing mine and pin it down. After pinning, I'll go over to the sewing machine to use the second piece of the band to cover the stitch. I'll stitch along the neckline and also on the armhole parts, and I'll bring it back and show you. This is it after I was done fixing the strap to the band, and I went ahead to iron one part of the band. I ironed like ½ inch inside, and the part that will serve as the lining inside the band. The part that will be inside, I ironed ½ inch inward, and this is what I'm going to do. The part that is not ironed, I'll pin it to the gathers part first, and once I'm done pinning it, I'll go ahead and run a stitch. After running a stitch on that part, then I will use that part I've already covered, the part that I ironed ½ inch. I'll use it to cover the stitch inside, and I'll bring it back and show you. This is the back of the dress. I've gone ahead to fold in the elastic casing. So I went ahead to fold in the top part where the elastic will be. And it is time for me to put in the elastic now. The length of the elastic you cut out depends on your bust measurement. For me now, my bust is 36 inches. 36 inches divided by 2 is 18 inches. That means for the back now, I'll deduct 2 inches from that 18 inches. That is 16 inches. So I cut out 16 inches length for the elastic. You can also deduct like 3 inches from the back measurement. It doesn't have to be 2 inches because at the end of the day, it is elastic. So you can be able to drag it anyhow you want it. I am done fixing the elastic now. I'll go over to the sewing machine and stitch it in place. This is the front of the dress now, and this is what it is looking like. You can see the inside of the dress. It is very neat. And also I've gone ahead to stitch the elastic in place for the back of the dress, and everything is looking nice and neat. You can also go ahead and iron the band parts now. So the next thing for me to do now is to cut out the pockets for the dress. The fabric I have here is folded into 4. I'll be cutting 4 pieces for the pockets. Now I'll place my hand on the fabric, and once I place my hand, I'll trace out my hand right on the fabric, and I'll make sure to leave allowance at the top. I'll just trace out my hand like so, and I'll make sure that the pocket opening is up to like 6 or 7 inches, and I'll cut it out. So that is what we'll be using for our pockets. To fix the pocket on the dress, from the armhole point, I'll measure 7.5 inches from the armhole. That is where the pocket will start from, 7.5 inches for the armhole. I'll start by pinning one piece of the pocket to the dress, to the front part first, and I'll also do the same thing to the back of the dress. I'll do the same thing on both sides of the dress, and I'll go over to the sewing machine and stitch the pocket in place first, and I'll bring it back and show you what to do next. This is after fixing the pocket to both the front and the back, and this is what it is looking like. The next thing I'll do now is to go ahead and stitch from the top of the dress. I'll stitch ½ inch up onto the place where the pocket starts from, and I'll go around like that and stitch up until I get to the hem of the dress with ½ inch seam allowance. After doing that for both the two sides, I'll go ahead and hem the down part. I'll fold in ½ inch twice, and I'll bring it back and show you. Yeah, I am done joining the sides together, and this is what we have. I went ahead to overlock the side seam so that it is neat, and I also went ahead to iron it properly. The next thing I'll do now is to fix the strap to the back of the dress. Just align the front and the back together like this and bring in the strap and pin it to the back, just the way I'm fixing mine. Once I'm done pinning, I'll go over to the sewing machine and stitch it down. I'll stitch it in place and then I'll show you the finished look of the dress. Thank you guys for watching. Please like my video, leave a comment, share with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. Please turn on your notification bell so that you can get notified whenever I upload a new video. Thank you guys for your support on my channel. Please follow me on Instagram at stitchedbyst. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.